Okay, so we're either going to make a 2-arm or a 4-arm fidget spinner. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to check my grid first of all, make sure I've set to an Ultimaker, which is our 3D printer, and then I'm going to go onto my top view, and I'm going to use my mouse roll button just to get it to a sort of size I can see the thing. I'm going to draw myself a line using this polyline tool, and I'm going to click somewhere in the middle of the page, and I'm going to start maybe here, and I'm going to go across for 30 mil. I'm going to type in 30 to do it accurately and press enter. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. Choose my polyline tool, click on this first one, come to the starting point, come upwards. This time I'm going to do 30 again, press enter, and you get the idea now. I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can see a bit better. I'm going to repeat the same thing. Okay, so basically if I was going to make a 4 or if I'm going to make a 2, obviously depends on how many of these things I use, but the idea is going to be exactly the same. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to choose a circle and click on my drawing, and I'm going to put in the very center there a 22mm circle. I'm going to do the same thing on all the other ends of these lines. Now if you're going to do a 2-arm, all you would do is what I've done so far. You'd put these 3 circles in, but you wouldn't bother with any of the others. You wouldn't need this line or this line, but I'll show you a 4 just to make it a bit more obvious how it works. So same thing, repeat the process, 22mm on the end of each line, and this is the size of the ball race. Okay, however, if we cut those out, that we're in mid-air, so it's not actually going to show anything. So we need to be able to connect some things up. Easiest way of doing that to start with is just to use some more circles. So I'm going to go from the same position. This time I'm going to go 28mm. So we've got a perimeter around. Okay, you get the idea. I'm just repeating the same thing at the moment, lots of times. Okay, now you could play around with these sizes a little bit, but these ones are pretty accurate in terms of getting what we want it to do. So now we need to kind of join them up to make some shapes. So how am I going to do that? Well, if this was only a 2, I could literally take a line that went across these ones from here to here, and I would have a 2. Okay, if I wanted to make a 4, maybe I'll use some different sorts of lines. So I'll show you an example. If I use a 3-point arc, I'll pick my drawing, and I'm going to go from the very edge of this one to the very edge of this one, right at the top there, and then I'm going to decide how big I want my arc to be. So I can even go it that way if I want to, but that's going to look weird. So I'm going to go something like this and click there, and you can see straight away it starts to make this shape solid. I'm going to do the same thing all the way round. Okay, so I've got a shape there now. I haven't saved this yet, so I better save this. I'm going to call this 4-arm. Okay, so what do I need to do next? I need to get rid of the bits that I don't actually need. So I know I need to keep these inside circles, but then I just want the outside shape because I want to get rid of everything else so I can extrude upwards. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to choose my trim tool. I'm going to click on my drawing. Then now, whatever I click on, it goes red. If I click it, I delete it. So I'm going to get rid of all the bits that I don't actually want. So I'm going to click on this area. You can see that's changed to a different color. Let's put it on a slightly different angle so you can see it a bit better. I'm going to click on my little settings, and I'm going to go to extrude, I'm going to extrude upwards for 7 millimeters. So I'm going to type in 7 there. You can see what's happened. I'm going to press enter a couple of times. Now it looks a bit weird. If I turn off my sketches by hide sketches, it looks more normal. Now with this, there's lots of things I could do to try and make this shape more interesting. If I want to cut shapes out, for instance, so what I could do, if I wanted to cut a shape out of here, maybe I'll cut a circle out. So I'm going to choose my circle tool again, click on this surface, then I decide where I want to do it. So if I wanted to cut out a circle there, I'll click, I'll drag out, say I'll go 10 mil and see what that looks like. Maybe too big, try 8 mil, see what that looks like. Press enter. There we go. So if I want to cut that circle out, and I could put one of these in each corner if I wanted to. One there, one there, one there. I'll just show them one. I'll choose this, choose extrude again. This time I'm going to go down instead of up. I'm going to cut it out. Doesn't matter how far down, as long as it goes through. Press enter. That's cut my shape out. You can't see it quite right. If I turn my sketch off, you'll see it better. If I move it around, you can see now I've got a hole that goes right the way through. So I've got lots of shaping options with this, whether it was a 2 or a 4. I could put letters on here. I could use the text tool to do that. If I chose the text tool, let's go flat again, click on here. Where do I want to put my text? Somewhere around here. I'll put in just the letter M for now, and I will rotate that through to 0 degrees. Okay, I could have dragged it around using this handle if I wanted to. Press enter a couple of times. Now the same thing, I can extrude my letter. So if I click on it, choose my settings, choose extrude text, same thing, I can go up or I can go down. It's up to me. I'm going to cut this one out for the moment. Press enter, turn my sketches off again, and now if I move that around, you can see that goes right the way through as well. Okay, before I print it, I'm going to save again, Control and S. But what do I want to do to this? I can do some things to the edges to make it look nicer. The easiest thing to do is probably to use what's called the Phillip tool. So I'm going to choose Fillet, and I'm just going to go round and I'm going to click so all this top edge goes green. And all this is going to do is I'm going to select maybe 2 mil or 3 mil. I'll try to see what 3 mil looks like. 3 mil's too big. Let's try 2. Okay, 2 mil. Let's taken that edge off all the way round. I'm going to press enter. I want to do the same thing on the bottom to make it even, so I'll flip it upside down. Now if you don't like seeing the grid, you can turn the grid off. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing, choose Fillet, go around these edges till they're all green. Now, I could do them one at a time, but there's no point in doing that. I might as well do it all at the same time. But I don't want to do it to the inside circles because they want to be tight when the ball race goes in. I'll make this fillet radius 2 again, press enter a couple of times, and there we go. So I've got my fidget spinner, or I've got the base for my fidget spinner ready to print that off. Whatever shaping you do with the curves here, whether they're straight, whether they're triangular, whether they stick out, it's up to you. Whatever you cut out or pull up, you can have shapes that come up as well as shapes that go down. That's up to you. And then that will be what your fidget spinner's like. Okay, good luck.